feeling stressed? Is it your job?
This job is killing you!
Too much schoolwork? The economy? The state of the world? Not making enough money? Not getting enough playing time on your sports team? Not achieving all of your goals? Or just like, you're not where you want to be in life right now? The most important lesson that so many people actually never learn is how to actually deal with stress. So much of our society has been taught to distract, to drink our problems away, drug them up, anything to avoid actually feeling our feelings. But do any of those things actually make the problem go away? Or on the other hand, they really just like mask the symptoms and end up making the problems grow bigger. As I'm always saying, you have to feel in order to heal, and anything that makes you not have to feel your feelings is only going to multiply the root cause of those issues. Stress doesn't have to be this monster if we'd only learn how to deal with it properly, rather than avoid it, or push it away, or shove it down, or bury it under a bunch of drinks.
Oh, Mr. Waiter, 2 more, please. Waiter!
Or bury our heads in technology. So in today's video, I'm going to be diving into the do's and don'ts of how to deal with stress and helping you guys to get better at dealing with stress. So without further ado, let's dive deeper now.
Give me a...
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Jared and James channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know, that must mean that you're not subscribed to the channel, so you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. Follow me on every platform, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through It by Jared Weiss. All links purchased on my website, which is jaredryanweiss.com. That's JAREDRYANWEISS.com. Buy the book, support me. Any support is always very much appreciated. So in today's video, as you guys already know by now, I'm going to be diving into how to deal with stress, the do's and don'ts, and how to actually empower you guys with knowing all the tools to help you deal with stress and get back to a good, positive, healthy mental state. So the first do when it comes to handling stress is to meditate. Or it doesn't even have to be like a formal meditation, it could just be sitting alone with your thoughts and allowing your mind to actually sort through your thoughts and to find healthy solutions.
Every single waking moment of every single day has been scheduled. So what do I want to do? Nothing.
Cheap, zen, beautiful. I like it.
In a world that's full of business, it's full of stress, always full of things to do, the simplest way to go about dealing with these issues is actually to sit down in peace and quiet and to allow your mind to take a break from all the noise.
You want the noise brought on you? Because here it comes.
What?
The noise brought on you.
A lot of people out there aren't comfortable with being alone, so like they're always gonna settle for anyone around them, whether it's poor partners, whether it's poor friends. It doesn't matter to these people because these people have always been taught to run away from their problems rather than actually listen to them. So once again, the solution is to find some quiet time, even if it's just like 5-10 minutes every day. Meditate or just don't do anything.
Nothing.
Huh? You heard me. Nothing.
And allow your mind to take a break and sort through whatever it has to get through. And of course, this is gonna be challenging. This is gonna be challenging to a lot of people at first, initially, because a lot of us haven't been trained on how to take time for ourselves and to take a break from all the craziness of the world. But it can also be one of, if not the most effective way of dealing with stress. The first don't when it comes to dealing with stress is don't bottle up your emotions, bottle up your feelings, ignore them, reject them. Don't deny yourself of your feelings. Your feelings are there for a reason. Sometimes like you just have to let it out.
Come here.
As my friend Nicoletta Kudentaka said when she came on the podcast during her most recent appearance, sometimes like all it takes is actually having a good cry. Let it out, let out whatever needs to come out, because at the end of all those tears is actually going to be relief, positive emotions are going to flood in, and you may actually have to do this multiple times. But it's so important to actually give yourself permission to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Don't deny your feelings. Even if you're a guy, don't let someone else tell you to just like rub some dirt in it.
Suck it up! Be a man and rub some dirt in it!
Or to ignore what you're feeling, or guys aren't supposed to feel negative emotions. I mean, there's a reason why 75%, I believe, of suicides are actually men. It's because so many men are actually uncomfortable talking about their feelings. But of course, this also goes both ways. For men and women, we don't want to be ignoring our feelings. We want to feel like whatever it is that God in the universe or whatever our own bodies are currently feeling at the moment, not bottling them up, because eventually you're going to blow if that happens.
Just bottles up the anger and then eventually you blow.
Second do when it comes to dealing with stress is have that go-to friend or family member who you know you can talk to about anything and who you're truly comfortable enough with them. This could be a best friend, this could be a family member, this could be whoever that person in your life that you know you could tell them anything and like they're always going to give you their best, most genuine thoughts on that subject.
I'm with you to the end of the line, pal.
Having that person is so essential in all of our lives, because if we don't have that, then often what happens is we end up bottling up all of our thoughts. This ends up leading to all these trapped emotions, and then we're not able to actually give the world the best version of ourselves. And also, there's no shame in going to see a professional therapist, because of course, a lot of people aren't comfortable with sharing all their deepest thoughts and feelings with others.
All of my darkest fears and everything I'm capable of. That's me.
Yikes. Well, good luck with all that.
But just make sure like that if you are seeing a professional, that professional actually has your best intentions in mind. Make sure that like that person's actually addressing the root cause of whatever issues it is, the root cause of whatever is causing you stress, rather than just like masking them with pills or not actually giving you actionable tasks to take in order to truly help yourself in dealing with the stress. The next don't I'm going to get into is do not turn to drugs and alcohol expecting those external substances to get rid of your issues.
Here's to feeling good all the time.
Because what those external substances are actually going to do, they're actually going to make those problems grow bigger because they're going to be not allowing your body to truly feel like what it is that you're feeling. Of course, they're also going to cause major health issues. And also, like, it's so important to remember that making your problems disappear temporarily isn't actually fixing the problems. It's actually going to allow them to fester and grow bigger. It's almost like catapulting them further back, and then you're just like piling more and more bad stuff onto them. And then eventually you end up blowing, or you end up with mass scale health issues that your body can no longer handle on its own. I mean, there's a reason why so many people who do end up becoming alcoholics or drug addicts come from very rough pasts. It's because they've had to deal with like so many challenges in their lives. Like, they turn to these things for relief and for this false sense of comfort. Like, you could actually be someone who breaks this generational curse. You could be someone who actually takes it upon yourself to find true meaningful solutions to your issues, rather than just like bottling them up or pushing them away with drugs and alcohol. In spite of what all these TV shows are going to show you, in spite of what all these movies are going to show you, drinking your problems away or smoking them away doesn't actually make them disappear, and in the long term it's actually not going to make you feel any better. It's only going to make you worse. The third do when it comes to dealing with stress is to slow things down and to break them down into smaller, more manageable tasks. We often get overwhelmed whenever we look at like the big picture of what it is that we're trying to accomplish, and we get caught up in seeing how far we still have to go. I'm guilty of this myself, or how much work we still have to do. And being overwhelmed by these massive amounts of work that we have to do can actually cause a whole paralysis by analysis, where we're actually not able to do anything because we're so overwhelmed by this massive thing in front of us. But if we can actually chunk things down, break them apart.
Begin cutting your tomatoes into small chunks. I call this chunking.
Break them down into more simple daily tasks without having to see the whole big picture. Doing this can actually help us to de-stress. It gives us something small to work on every day as opposed to seeing the whole massive goal that's in front of us. And then if we do that, maybe that big goal doesn't seem so scary anymore. The next don't when it comes to dealing with stress is don't distract yourself with technology.
We're not cavemen! We have technology!
I'm sure all of us have seen out at restaurants or out in public how many parents these days, whenever their kids are crying, whenever they're too busy to actually interact with their kids, they end up throwing a screen in front of their faces, whether it's an iPad or an iPhone. And of course, all of us, I'm sure, are guilty of this at one point or another, no matter how old you are. But once again, distraction does not equal solution. Distraction is only putting off the problems temporarily, but like it's not actually dealing with them. No matter how much you scroll on your phone, no matter how many videos you watch, no matter how many mindless videos you watch, that problem is still going to be there at the end of all that. So it's actually essential to deal with those issues head on, so that like this way they don't have to fester and they don't have to grow bigger. And furthermore, if you are someone who's conditioned yourself or condition kids or condition others to always put a screen in front of your face every time you face something challenging, when you get older, or as time goes on, this is actually going to be a harder habit to break because you've been so conditioned to distract from all of your issues versus actually finding solutions in that moment. And maybe sometimes distractions can be necessary, and can actually help us to deal with massive amounts of stress in that moment. But just know like that doing that over and over again is not going to be the long-term solution, and it's not actually going to solve our problems. It's just putting them off temporarily. And the final do when it comes to dealing with stress that I want to talk about in this video is move your body, work out, go for a walk. This is always going to be a great solution to so many of our issues, because what happens whenever we have stagnant energy? Oftentimes, that energy is going to become negative, our body will start to not feel good, and as a result, like, our mind won't be thinking as good or as clear of thoughts. So, whenever this happens, it's essential and like so important to get our bodies moving, to get our minds moving, because doing this is actually going to help our emotions to move through our bodies, and of course, this is obviously going to help us both physically and mentally, because as far as I see it, health is all about mind, body, spirit connection. You can't separate one from the other. If the body isn't feeling good, the mind isn't going to be thinking as good. If you're thinking bad thoughts, if you're watching bad content, if you're interacting with poor people, your body isn't going to feel as strong either. So like, you can't just isolate one without dealing with the other. And going along the same lines, the final don't when it comes to dealing with stress that I want to talk about in this video is don't eat poorly. Don't stuff your face with food in order to bury your emotions.
I understand. You eat when you are upset. So why are you upset?
Because your food is going to affect your mood, and you're going to end up creating a whole negative feedback loop, because by eating poorly, those toxic chemicals in those foods are going to mess with your mental health, and they're going to mess with your body's energy, so you're not going to have a good mood. You're probably going to end up feeling guilty, which for a lot of people is actually going to lead to them eating more. You're going to look worse, and the worse you look, the worse you're going to feel about yourself, so like, it's just going to create a whole negative cycle. But on the flip side of things, if you can actually nourish yourself properly whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling stressed, this is actually going to remind your body to prioritize self-love and self-care whenever you're feeling down, as opposed to like stuffing your face with more toxicity. So anyways guys, I really hope like this video helped you guys at dealing with stress and seeing it in a different light. I hope like this video reminds you of how much power you have within to deal with any issues you might be facing in your lives. Anyways, if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts on this video. Make sure you buy the book, check out the book, Fight Through by Jared Weiss. I will catch you guys in the next video. Stay positive, stay hustling, stay grinding. I will catch you guys next one. Peace.